the Black Monk of Warwick Castle. In the heart of England, where the Avon River winds through emerald meadows and the whispers of history cling to the stones, stands Warwick Castle. Majestic and brooding, its gray towers pierce the sky like solemn sentinels of the past. Tourists often marvel at the ancient tapestries, the suits of armor, and the chilling dungeon tours. But the locals speak in hushed voices of something else, something not found on the official guide. They speak of the Black Monk. His legend begins in the year 1347. The plague had yet to blacken the soil, but shadows had already crept into the castle's chapel. Brother Anselm, a Benedictine monk assigned to Warwick's private clergy, was unlike the others. Tall and silent, he walked with an unnatural grace, his black habit flowing like liquid ink. He rarely spoke during Mass, but when he did, his voice was said to be deeper than the vaults below the castle. The other monks feared him, claiming his presence chilled the air and stilled the flame of candles. Anselm arrived one stormy night, unannounced and bearing a letter from the abbot of Glastonbury. Lord Thomas de Beauchamp, then Earl of Warwick, accepted him reluctantly, convinced by the weight of the abbot's seal. But his lady wife, Eleanor, was more perceptive. "He casts no reflection," she whispered once, trembling as she watched Anselm glide past a mirror. At first, Anselm kept to the chapel, praying in solitude. But soon, oddities began to pile like dry leaves. A servant boy, tasked with cleaning the crypt, vanished without a trace. The bell in the chapel rang at midnight, though no one had pulled its rope. Ravens began to gather on the castle parapets, cawing in eerie unison whenever Anselm passed below. One night, Eleanor dared to confront him. She entered the chapel, cloaked in a shawl, candle in hand. She found Anselm kneeling before the altar, his back to her. "Brother," she said gently, "are you truly of this world?" He did not turn. The candle flickered violently in her grasp. "There are older vows than marriage," he said. "Older than the stone of this castle." "What do you mean?" she whispered. "I serve a master beneath the earth." Eleanor fled, and from that night on, she refused to enter the chapel again. Days later, she fell mysteriously ill and died before the fortnight ended. Her passing marked the beginning of Warwick's dark age. In the months that followed, children born in the castle were still and silent. Crops withered in the nearby fields. The river swelled with dead fish. The castle dogs howled every night at the same hour, 3:07, just before the cocks crow. Finally, Lord Beauchamp ordered the monk arrested. Soldiers stormed the chapel, swords drawn, but they found no trace of Anselm. Only his black robes folded on the altar, a deep fissure carved into the stone floor, as if the earth had swallowed him whole. The chapel was sealed, and the name of Brother Anselm was stricken from the records. But the haunting had only begun. Centuries later, in 1923, the castle changed hands. Bought by a wealthy aristocrat turned antiquarian named Sir Percival Hargrave, Warwick Castle became a private residence once more. Hargrave was a skeptic of the supernatural, a man devoted to science and reason. He believed the tales of the Black Monk to be nothing more than local folklore, embellished to entertain travelers. Until the night he reopened the chapel. Driven by curiosity and a desire to restore the ancient room, he pried open the sealed oak doors and stepped into the dust-laden silence. The chapel was untouched, as though time had paused. At the altar, he found an odd depression in the stone, unnaturally smooth, like something had melted through it. He leaned over to examine it and felt a sudden, piercing cold at his back. Turning quickly, he saw no one, but he heard a voice, deep, hollow. "You are not welcome here." Sir Percival scoffed and lit a lantern. As he studied the cracked mural above the altar, something caught his eye. Behind layers of soot and mold, a figure had been painted, a tall monk clad in black, with no face, only a void where eyes and mouth should be. That night, Percival did not sleep. The walls echoed with chanting in Latin, backwards and distorted. His dog, a loyal bloodhound named Cromwell, was found dead by the chapel door, its neck twisted unnaturally. Servants quit. Hargrave's guests stopped coming, and yet he refused to close the chapel. Instead, he installed a gramophone in the room to record the strange voices. Over 6 months, he captured dozens of eerie sounds: whispers, footsteps, unearthly moans. But one recording, marked Session 17, was different. It began with static, then a long, low breath, then a voice. Anselm still waits. Hargrave vanished on October 31st, 1924. His study was found in disarray, his last journal entry scrawled in blood. He came through the stone. Not man, not ghost. He remembers me. I am the last. The circle is nearly complete. Present day. Tourists now visit Warwick Castle by the thousands. The chapel is still off limits, behind a locked iron gate with no official explanation. But those who linger near it at dusk sometimes report strange sensations: a sudden chill, the scent of damp earth, the fleeting image of a hooded figure in the stained glass reflections. In 2019, a paranormal investigator named Elena Moore stayed overnight as part of a television special. Armed with EMF readers, thermal cameras, and a skeptical crew, she laughed off the stories until 3:07 a.m. when the lights cut out. The emergency generator failed. All batteries drained, and the cameras captured a single frame. One the production team refused to air. It showed a tall, faceless monk standing at the chapel gate, cloaked in shadow, reaching outward. Elena never spoke publicly about what happened that night. She quit the show, changed her name, and moved to a convent in Northern Ireland. Conclusion: the Black Monk of Warwick Castle is more than a legend. He is a memory, a deep, ancient echo carved into stone and soul. Some believe he was a priest who betrayed his faith, trading it for forbidden power. Others say he is something older still, a vessel of darkness that preys on sacred places. Whatever the truth, one thing is certain. When the air grows still and the hour hand nears 3, the walls of Warwick Castle remember. And so does he.